Expo. How are we doing? Excellent. Last day. How's the con been for everybody? Yeah, excellent. Well, my name is Maggie Lovitch. You may know me from Collider, but to be honest, I'm just a big old fangirl like the rest of you, and I am a big fan of our next guest. So please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Felicia Day.
Sup? You guys, who's sleepy? Yeah, who's hungover? Thank you for admitting it. I have a food hangover, but I don't drink anymore. Too many Comic-Cons. But I did have a really cool meal, and I think the chef was a fan because they kept sending out free food. But that wasn't what I wanted, but then I felt guilty, so I ate it all. So I'm kind of angry that they did me a favor.
It's like a different form of hangry.
Yeah, the opposite of hangry. I was hangry, the opposite of hangry, or like a different interpretation. I mean, thank you for sending more cod out, but I don't want more fish in me, and I ate the whole fillet. It's not what you want to stuff yourself with before night-night.
No. Did you get any good desserts too, or just?
I literally gave them my credit card and I was like, please don't bring any more food. Because I can't sleep if I have sugar. I'm a delicate flower of a lady, and if I have sugar after like 2, I can't sleep. Is that it's weird, right? That's weird. It's weird. Come on.
A little, maybe.
Come on.
We're both weird.
Whoa, wow, you rolled your eyes. I didn't need that much. Okay. You gonna moderate?
I am going to moderate.
Okay,
thank you. So we're going to kick things off with a few questions, and then we will be playing a game, and then we will have fan questions. So if any of you have questions, start thinking about them now.
Get them in your brains, write them down so you don't have to remember anything like I do, because I can't remember it. No, I do. I literally have, I have a note thing in whenever I have, you need to do this, I have to write it down or I'll be like, oh, didn't pay the water bill. It's true. It's actually sadly true. Okay.
So you have a really incredible resume of a lot of fantastic projects, and you get to come to all of these conventions and talk with fans.
Yay.
And I'm curious if there's ever been a time where a fan has surprised you by a deep cut on your resume that you don't get to talk about a lot. Like a character that's a smaller role, or maybe a role that had resonated with you that you're surprised that somebody's a big fan of it because it's not a character you get to talk about a lot.
I mean, deep cut as in insulting me?
No, a deep cut.
Because I've had it. Somebody was like, I didn't like the Guild, but you were good in Supernatural. I don't think they meant anything by it. I just always give people the social awkwardness benefit of the doubt, because I have that too. I think it's almost a contest. I've had people come up. The worst probably was me. So the first year I did the Guild, I think it was 2007, I had just released the first episode on YouTube. Or no, you know what? It was later that year because I was featured on the front page of YouTube with the 3rd episode of the Guild, and it was probably the winter of 2007. And I was in the van with Kevin Sorbo, who was nice at the time, and I was doing a terrible Western Hallmark movie called Prairie Fever. And I just remember being in the van hey, they featured me on YouTube, and nobody even knew what YouTube was. So that's how old I am. But also, there is a DVD version of Prairie Fever. And let me just tell you, this was the worst movie. And no offense, but the director got a heart attack, and I think he was just fired 5 days in. And then John Wayne's stunt double, I'm not even kidding, took over directing, and he would give 1 take each. And I had a monologue where I was supposed to be sobbing about being assaulted, and it was a long monologue over the campfire, and he was like, okay, let's rehearse. I did it. He was like, I was filming, let's move on. I was like, wait, what? And there's a scene in the end, spoiler alert, where I jump in front of a bullet to save my husband's life, but they didn't actually cover the scene. They only shot 2 angles. So I'm jumping, and then the next cut, I'm 20 feet that way, just dead. My body just teleported because they didn't actually have any footage in between. So that's that movie. And anyway, so that's why. So if somebody brings me that DVD, I'm like, thank you.
Wait, have they?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And what's surprising is it was ever released on DVD.
I admire their moxie for bringing that. That's
You know, they always go like, It's never done with like a genuine, like, I love this movie. No, that would be psychotic. It's always like, look what I found. I dug up one of your poops.
See, I loved Dragon Age Redemption. That was the one that
Thank you.
I was very wanting to like segue into talking about because there's a new Dragon Age came out and
I know,
I
yeah.
love Dragon Age. Have you had a chance to play the new game yet?
I'm literally starting it tomorrow on my Twitch stream. So I'm gonna be doing, thank you, yeah. Tomorrow at noon to 2, I will be doing some character creation. Probably take the whole time just creating my character, quite frankly. And then I have to go have a mammogram. So, yeah. Yeah, mammograms, woo-hoo! Get your breast squeezed. So that'll be that. Yeah, that's I really want to commit to a game, and I love Dragon Age. Obviously, I created Talos. I wrote that thing. Then they wrote a DLC based on it. Then the game was not well received, so the fans were kind of mean to me, and that's why I created Geek and Sundry, because I was like, I can never do a really high budget, web series on a low budget. But I called in all the favors, and I love doing it so much, and I'm really proud of it. So.
You should be proud of it.
Thank you.
It was very fun.
I mean, listen, it was really hard to do, but it was a dream come true. And I'm kind of like salty. No, not salty, but I'm sad I'm not in the new one. But I'm gonna play the hell out of it. And who knows? Talos might come back at some point. I would love that.
I did see somebody create their own character to look like Talos.
Really?
There is a lot of love still for Talos.
I'm gonna play Talos. I still have the outfit. Definitely can't fit in it. Especially after last night. Definitely cannot fit in it. But I will. I do have it in my house, and I might wear the top, and I might just play Talos. Who's gonna sue me? Nobody. Come after me, EA.
I love that. I'll have to watch your Twitch stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. That's a good idea. I'll see it. Maybe I could put the boot. It's a very tight corset, but I'm like, maybe I could just put it loosely on and not do the back, because I do that with half my outfits anyway.
I love that. And well, that's a perfect segue into the game we're going to be playing, which is Dungeons and Dragons Mad Libs.
Oh, dude.
So
Okay.
fun.
Let's do it.
I will say I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons, so I do hope that you know
okay.
a few things.
For Mad Libs, it's better not to know anything,
This is
right?
true.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we are going to be using the audience for a little bit of help. So when we get to certain words, start thinking for verbs and
Okay.
adjectives and adverbs and all of those things that you learned in English class.
Gerunds,
Conjunctions.
nominative case.
All right, so first up, in D&D, a group of characters is called an verb ending in
Wait,
ing.
you're doing this all wrong.
Am I doing it wrong?
You're doing this all wrong. You gotta flip the page up,
Yes.
and we gotta just do random words.
Okay.
That's how we do it.
Perfect.
And then you put them in, right?
Yes.
Or you can go through and write it down, but you just go, I need a verb.
Okay, let's do it that way. That is the right way to do it, I
That's the
believe.
right way to do it, because if we know the context, it's not gonna be funny.
That is true.
That's the whole point.
You can tell I didn't ever play games with my friends.
Your parents hated you. I'm sorry to say that.
I was homeschooled and my mother is also in the room.
Did your mom let you out of the house? Because mine didn't. I was homeschooled, jailed. I was jailed schooled.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
My
life
mom's not here, thank God.
All right, so life of the party, a verb ending in ing.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give one to the audience, but I gotta do this one. Oozing.
Oozing.
Oozing. Okay? All right. The next one, the audience can help. What is it?
An adjective.
Okay, adjective, guys.
Fertile.
Fertile. I heard fertile.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Fertile it
This
is.
is really fun. Okay, what's the next one?
An adverb.
Adverb. Let's see. Lactating.
Lactating.
Lactating. Okay, got you. Okay, now I'm gonna do a number. Give me a number. A pi. Let's just do pi. Okay. All right. Pi. 3.1. You're doing all of them? We're going to be here all day. Or perhaps for the rest of our lives.
Okay, next up is an adverb.
Okay, adverb, you guys. Dastardly. Okay. Is that an adverb? Okay, dastardly. Thank you, English teachers. Dastardly.
And
Okay.
next is a noun.
Noun. Eggs. An egg. Okay, let's see an egg. Egg.
Next one's an adjective again.
Another adjective. Purple is not. Warty. Is it warty? Warty. Warty. Okay.
Okay.
I made that one up. Plural noun. It's for you.
Okay.
Plural noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. A plural. Dragons. Okay, dragons.
And now another plural noun.
Another plural noun. Mermaids.
And then another adverb.
Okay. Weeping. Wait, is it weep? Is that? That's not a.
Yeah, it is. ING, right?
No, it's not. What is it? Ly. Okay, weepingly. Weepingly.
And now another adjective.
Adjective.
Squishy.
Twitchy?
Squishy.
Squishy. Squishy. Love it.
And a verb.
A verb. Rolfing? Rolf? To Rolf? Okay, Rolf. We're Rolfing. It's some kind of, is that a sexual thing? All right, great.
Another noun.
Now, what? Free Todd.
Free cod.
Okay, great. Put it on. I don't care.
And another adjective.
Another adjective, describing word. Slimy.
I like that.
Like it, like it.
Verb.
Another verb. Ovulating. No. Verb. Anybody verb? What? You already did one. Spanking. I like it. You already did one, but I'm going to do it. Spanking. Spanking.
Another plural noun.
Plural noun. What was that back there? Huh? Pig.
Pigs.
Okay, great. Figs or pigs, either one.
Okay, it's gonna be pigs.
Last one.
A noun.
A noun. Cowboy. Okay, this is good. All right, can I read it? Can I read it?
Go for it.
All right, guys, here we go. In D&D, a group of characters is called an oozing party. While there are no fertile and fast rules about this, to have a lactating rounded party, you need 3.1415 things. Number one, a tank. These characters can dastardly endure lots of egg from bad guys, have warty health, and keep the more fragile dragons in the party safe. Number two, a damager with spells, daggers, or mermaids. These characters hit weepingly. Told you it was a word. They can be as squishy as glass, though. Hey! So, Rolf them from harm. Rolfing them from harm, but it should be Rolfing. Okay. Number three, a healer. A literal free cod of the party. Healers keep everyone alive and slimy. These are just guidelines. If you want to spank a party of all rogues, go for it. It's my favorite one. Just make sure you bring some healing pigs with you. If you do, the cowboy is your oyster. That was pretty good. If you want to spank a group of rogues, is my favorite.
I like that.
That was pretty great. Okay. And
That
we
was
taught
my
you how to do Mad Libs.
Yeah, there we go.
Great.
Learned
Did you do
something
card
today.
trips as a kid?
I did, but I
Yeah.
played my Game Boy.
Oh, better.
Yeah.
Better.
All right, now we are going to turn things over to the fans. So we have microphones here, and I'm sure somebody has questions this morning
Yeah.
after that fun English lesson.
That was great. We all remembered the grammar that we forgot.
Hey, at least there was no like conjunctions or any of those
Yes,
things.
exactly.
That
I
wouldn't
loved
do.
gerunds, and I loved, you're supposed to use my going instead of me going. And whenever I think, I'm like, I know you're supposed to use a possessive with a gerund, but it's okay, TV show. Yeah, I'm a grammar police. That's how fun I am at watching a movie. Yeah, exactly.
I see somebody over here maybe going to the microphone. Yes.
If you had to choose one character of every character you played, who do you think is the most like you? Who is the easiest to play, and then who is the hardest?
Ooh. Well, Codex was me at a certain time in my life when I was super depressed. So that was just like me channeling my autobiographical story.
Okay.
I think Charlie is who I am now, and I can't say whether Charlie from Supernatural has made me who I am or just empowered me, because being on the show was so formative and supportive and empowering. So for sure, it wasn't hard to play either of those characters. I guess the one that's most different is I just did a short film called White Elephant, where I played a high-class murderer. And I lost a lot of weight at the time. It was, I was actually eating vegetables. Oh, so boring. But everyone who watches it, it's been going to festivals and winning a lot of awards. And people are like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, inside, I'm a Karen. I had a Karen inside me that I was just like channeling, because I was so angry. I was only eating vegetables. That's why Karens are like they are. It's just a carb deficiency thing.
There's a crossover between crunchy moms and
Yeah.
Karens.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Or too many vegetables.
Too many crudité.
That was a good question.
Thank you for that was a really good question. Thank you.
All right, back over here.
Yeah.
Hi, Felicia. My name's Matt.
So,
Nice to meet you. I have a question. You had a lot of wild roles over your career so far. Have you ever seen a script and you were like, "Are we really doing this?" And then
Yes.
you did it and you were like,
Yes.
"Actually,
So my friend Sandeep Parikh, who played Zabu in The Guild, did a web series called Legend of Neil, which was like a dirty take on Link and Zelda, the games. And I played the fairy. A couple people is anybody watch this? Okay, so you guys saw me motorboat a bunch of toes, right? So I was a dirty little fairy, and there were a lot of very questionable things I agreed to do at the time, but the weirdest thing was he built some giant toes that I had to pretend to motorboat in a very inappropriate way, okay? And that's on film, forever. And the toes look real. So anyway, he just did I think they did on Thanksgiving, they did a marathon of the whole show. And I just kept getting these messages online. It was like, "I just saw what you did as a fairy. That's gross, man." And I'm like, "I don't know." La, 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 la. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube on the Effin' Funny website. It's Sandeep's company, so check it out. Or don't, please don't, actually.
thank you."
You're welcome.
That was great.
Yeah.
All right, over here now.
Yes, thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry for my voice. I'm getting over a cough here.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm totally fine, yeah.
All right, just coughing to give
Yeah,
everybody
it's
those germs in there. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I got the mask.
Well,
Anyway,
okay, great.
you've played so many characters and had all these different roles. Did you find one that was most difficult or most challenging?
Yeah, I really had a hard time playing dark. There was an episode of Supernatural where I played Dark Charlie and Light Charlie, or Good Charlie and Bad Charlie. And it was really challenging because one scene I'd be in one costume playing a version of myself, and then the next one I had to be, badass. And of course, I don't feel badass inside. I mean, just look at me, okay? My head is not the same size you would have thought it would be, right? Like in person, too. And so I really wanted to make sure that the role came across really well. So I just tried to be a badass, and I did my best, and I learned that you can indeed pretend on screen, and it looks good. So yeah, it was, and getting in a costume and having like a little bit of different hairdo, I used the externals of the character to help me feel confident to play the internals. But it was, when I was just looking at the script, I was like really intimidated. I was like, how am I gonna pull this off and be believable? I'm not tough, I'm not all these things. We can be whatever we want, you know? And I think that was a good lesson that I learned from that. And I think I did pretty well. So thank you, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. All right, back over here.
Hi, Felicia.
what's up?
Eureka is one of my favorite shows.
Thank
I've seen
you.
it 2 times through, once when my kids were little babies and taking care of them at home, and again with them when they were older and able to actually watch it.
That's great.
And I was wondering, is Dr. Holly Martin like your personal feelings, like in your personality and her personality, was it similar?
I think if you talk about Holly, I think she's more Hufflepuff than me. You know, if we're gonna use an analogy, you know, of a problematic universe because of the author, but I still love it. I consider myself borderline Ravenpuff, but like I definitely went full puff when I was doing Holly. Does that make sense? She's more bubbly, she's a little bit more scattered, a little bit more generous of heart, a little more, you know, nervous, and I kind of played up those aspects of my personality. Like I think good acting, you always have something that you're tapping into that's inside you that you're putting in the character, because you could tell when an actor's putting on a show, you know, you need truth to ground you. Even if it's just like one incident where you're like, I stole that thing from that girl named Becky, you know? You're like, I'm evil, I can murder somebody in real life, you know, like on screen. So you kind of just tap into whatever it is. And it's not method acting, it's not like I'm sitting there thinking about Becky when I'm in the role, in the scene. It's just like when I'm kind of formatting my approach and how I'm thinking about it, I basically kind of put my mind in that truth of the character, and it sort of grounds everything in reality, you know? So that's how I do it. And with Holly, she was just so sweet, you know, at the heart of it. And I really enjoyed playing her in that way. She's bubbly and kind of a little airheadedy, but then in a good way, because she was really, really super smart too. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent question. Over here now.
I love everything that you do.
What's on your shoulder?
My dog.
Oh, hey, I thought it was a duck. I couldn't see that far. I literally couldn't see that far.
It's okay.
And I just saw the British baking show where the lady made a really realistic looking duck. And I was like, does she have a duck cake on her shoulder? I was talking about Holly. Maybe I'm in her mindset right now. Sorry. Hi, cutie.
Hi. So I was just wondering, has your daughter seen any of the projects that you've done? And of all of them, which one would you be most proud to watch with her?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I didn't want her to see anything I've done because I don't want her to be an actor more than anything in my life. It's a horrible profession, and especially for children, I think it's awful for their development and who they are. If she wants to be an actor when she's 18, that's great, but I don't want to plant the seed early. Although she is in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at her school, and she specifically asked for Veruca Salt and got it. So it's been a problematic month at my house with her method acting. But yeah, she accidentally saw me on Nailed It as a host, and she was so excited. And then I guess all her teachers at school are Supernatural fans, or at least her old school. So sometimes when somebody comes up to us, she'll be like, yes, my mom was on Supernatural. And it's just the valet, like getting our car key. Like, so I try, and I really emphasize to her, you know, that I love doing my writing work. I do some acting work, and I used to do a lot more, but like my future and the thing that I love the most is making my own stuff. And so she wants to be a singer, she says now. And I'm like, well, if you want to be a singer, you have to learn how to play the piano and write your own music, okay? And so now she's like, to anything, she's like, I told the teacher I don't want to sing that song because I don't want to be somebody's tool. I'm like, oh boy. Anyway, I hope I'm parenting right. Thanks for that question.
Thank you.
Excellent. Over here now.
Sorry, I'm short. So I just have to say I love your character, Charlie. She was like one of my favorites. And the show Supernatural like got me through like when I had COVID, so that was really cool. But what was your favorite scene to film as Charlie, and which one did you find most challenging?
Did you had COVID for 300 episodes? Just want to clarify that.
I had COVID for 2 weeks, and I binged like 5 seasons during it. And I watched the entirety of Supernatural. My best friends that were there, he recommended it to me. I watched it in like 2 months.
We were at the table. I was at my signing table yesterday, and somebody was like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it in a week. I'm like, that's physically impossible. And then some awesome girl in line was like, have a calculator. I just calculated how many, approximating 45 minutes episodes. I just approximated, and basically we figured out it would take, if you were sleeping 12 hours of binging every day, no break, it would take 28.4 days. Please don't do this. As far as your question, the most challenging was the Dark Charlie, which I just talked about, I think, and that was amazing. My favorite was definitely the LARPing episode, just because of the sets and the outfit. Again, leather pants I definitely can't fit into now, but just amazing production value on that, and it was just so fun. So that would be my favorite. It's just the best episode of TV I've ever done. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Excellent. Back over here now.
Yeah, thanks guys.
So, I just recently rewatched Dr. Horrible and was
a lot of fans of Dr. Horrible here today. Thank you guys.
And I was wondering, what was your favorite song?
This is a good story because my favorite song is My Eyes, the duet between me and Neil Patrick Harris. I was recording all the songs in Joss's house, and I was like, oh man, you guys, this My Eyes, I think it's gonna be the hit. And they looked at me like I was stupid. Not in a mean way, but they were like, no, that's the first song we wrote. It's definitely the worst song we all hated. I'm like, it's the best one, and I was right. It's the one that most people love the most. So I love to rub that in their faces. Even though they're all talented, wonderful people, I'm like, I was right. I love Dr. Horrible. Doing it was an incredible experience. And what's amazing is that people, of all ages still come up to me and they just discovered it and they love it because musicals live forever. And the music really holds up. And I really wish they would just do like a stage play version of it, It would be really awesome. I know that a lot of high schools for a long time would just do it without permission and they didn't care, about that. But I think a formal stage play would be incredible. So thank you. Thanks for, asking.
I agree. We need that.
Yeah.
Okay, over here now.
Hello again. When you're rating in an RPG, what is your preferred role and least preferred role?
Rating as a pen and paper or a video game?
Both.
Okay, great. I've never been a frontline fighter. I've never played a warrior. I think I played a monk once and I was very uncomfortable. In life and in a game, need to be where other people can be harmed before me. So I'm a backline lady. I like playing a wizard. I do like having some offensive spells. I usually want to throw fire. I'm a fire mage, my magic deck is red and green, big monster, big fire, that's my personality, which is weird because I'm kind of like shy and have a little anxiety, and yet part of me is like, I always want to dive headfirst into something scary and unknown. I don't know what it is. It's masochism, I think. But yeah, those are my two favorite, so my roles, I do enjoy playing a healer. I feel like sometimes I feel obligated to play a healer because nobody else will take it as seriously, but I love healing, and I do like flinging fire. So if I could just be a cauterizing healer, I think we would probably, listen, you lose a limb, I'll burn it. I'm your friend. So that's my preference. Thank you. Thanks for that question.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm playing, Todd Stashwick he did a Kickstarter for a role-playing game. We're going to be filming early in the year, and I was just trying to think through characters I would want to play, and I was like, okay, Felicia, play something you've never played before. Play a paladin or, no, not at all. Although, I can't spoil anything, but yeah.
I would say mages have more fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
May just have more fun. Well, also healers. I do like being a healer. And the cool thing, I always think of a healer as a WoW healer, which is a squishy, cloth-wearing healer. But in D&D, you're a cleric, which is kind of cool. Because you can have a weapon, you can wear plate, or you can wear plate, right, as a cleric in D&D? Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, we'll see.
Excellent. Over here now.
I just gave it away. I'm playing a cleric. Okay, great.
You gave me the sassiest, most amazing words for my Mad Libs yesterday, and I wanted to thank you for that.
You're quite welcome. We did a Mad Libs yesterday, yeah. It involved nipples and other things we can't say out loud.
It was delightful, and it made me wake up with the burning question. I wonder what Felicia Day's guilty pleasures are.
Ooh, my guilty pleasures are pastries, lit RPG books, which I read at least 2 a week.
Wow.
I know, it's bad. I'm gonna do a book club because I have to somehow turn it into something public with my brother. But they're just brain candy. They certainly don't deepen my understanding of the world any, but I just need to decompress. And my other is redecorating my house, I guess. I really like, if I get something that, like a Lazy Susan, it's like, the Container Store is my porn, okay?
Nice, solid.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. I'm redecorating my living room right now, and I have a swatch of red velvet that I'm like, if I could only save up for this couch. And I just kind of stroke it at night. My red velvet couch, I'm gonna have you one day.
I love that. Over here now.
Addison Plum, so every time I see you like on my TikTok or any like new show, I'm like, oh my god, it's Codex.
Aw, thank you.
But out of like everything you've ever played, when they were like, okay guys, that's a wrap, and you're never playing that character again, which one hit you the hardest?
Oh boy. I mean, the thing about the guild is, it really hit me, but I'm doing a reunion movie. I'm working on the script now. We're gonna be doing, thank you. I'm gonna be doing a Kickstarter probably next summer because I can't trust Hollywood to not give me stupid notes. So we're just gonna do it. So follow, the best way to do is to subscribe to my newsletter because you'll get it straight in your inbox. I'm very inconsistent with it, but if I send you something, it's something important. So just, that's probably the best way to keep in touch to know when it's gonna happen. But when that ended, it was like an end of an era, But I guess, Supernatural was really horrible, but the thing was I didn't know I was gonna end that role. So I was there filming episode 18 out of 20, and they got a little snippet of me doing just me against a window, being upset that Dean, for episode 20. But then I was supposed to come back and do a whole scene with a bunch of other actors in heaven, like as OG Charlie. Unfortunately, the day after I left to go back to LA and come back the next week for episode 20, they shut the border for COVID. So they couldn't actually film the finale that they had planned with all the other actors, and they couldn't do a wrap party. So that was the most disappointing ending because it was almost like it never ended properly, right? We never really got to say goodbye. So I'm kind of hoping that comma on like the best experience of my life, Hollywood-wise, will continue somehow, somewhere, some way, because of that sort of karmatic ending. Anyway, I'm gonna put it in the universe because I'd love to play Charlie again.
I think we would all love to see that happen.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, back over here.
You might have just answered my question.
Oh.
Basically, my question is, as a writer now, of all the characters you've done, what would you like to write a sequel or a spin-off of?
Oh my gosh. I mean, for sure, the Guild. I took 10 years off of it because I burned out so bad. I was launching a company called Geek and Sundry, which we made amazing stuff, but we just didn't know how to, I didn't know how to build a company. We didn't have the right resources to really do it in a way that I didn't take on all the burdens. So I ended the Guild because I just couldn't do the Guild and all these other videos. And I think it was the right decision but I don't know. Anyway, so I burned out, and then 10 years later now, I'm like, I think I can do these characters again. I think we can all move forward, and I have a really good story, and I'm excited about it. I mean, I'd love to play Charlie again, for sure. I'd love to play Harley again. I've played some characters that are very iconic, and I'd love to continue all of them. They're the ones that you guys know me most from. I've done some guest stars here and there. And frankly, I haven't acted that much since Supernatural ended, partially because of COVID and the strike and all that stuff. But a lot of reasons is that I get offered these terrible parts, you guys. It's really true. And since I became a mom, somehow I'm only playing moms. And I'm like, well, these are boring moms. These are moms who make sure their refrigerator is stocked and don't wear an Oddish hat. Like, can I just... So, I mean, I've kind of given up on Hollywood writing because all my experiences there have been really terrible. And they're just, it doesn't suit me as a person, you know? I love doing my writing on the side. I have a graphic novel coming out next year. I'm working on a novel, The Guild, you know, so I'm doing my own writing, and doing Hollywood acting and hosting and stuff like that helps me support the thing I love the most, but I have to separate it, you know? And so, you know, either Hollywood or not, like the formative characters that you guys know me for, I would love to put on their, you know, on their skins again. That's creepy, but I'd love to walk in their shoes, not having skinned them before it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a great question. We're gonna
Not
go
a
back.
good answer.
No, it was a good answer. It was a good answer.
Great.
We're gonna go over here now.
My question is about parasocial relationships.
Ooh,
Since
good.
you're such a visible figure in fandom and geekdom in general, I was wondering if you've ever had a fan encounter or experience that made you go, I'm in danger.
Wow, that's a bit. I have a couple of restraining orders, I will say. I can't go to a certain state because I don't feel safe in the capital, you know? Yes. Especially when I was more popular and I was like kind of young, you know. I guess people thought of me as hotter. I was never like, here's my leg, you know, very rarely. So I think women who lead with their sexuality online get a lot more predators. That's not right at all, but you know, I think I've actually, being an introvert and, you know, I just am the opposite of that anyway. I'm not comfortable with any part of my body, online or off, so. But I will say that definitely I've had, not face-to-face at a convention, but online, people who became obsessed and, you know, it made me very uncomfortable. They had the whole Gamergate thing that happened where I got attacked by a lot of people who now seem to be in charge of everything, but it was really scary because I would have people outside my house and I had to think about moving and they would threaten me and they would threaten to dox me and all this stuff. It was a very, very hard time. And I wrote about it in my autobiography, you know? And I think after that, I really started withdrawing myself a little bit because I just didn't feel safe. And it wasn't like I'm like, you know, a billionaire, like I'm not. At a certain point, it's like I don't have the resources to hire the people to protect me from this. Also, I don't want to live like that in a cage. And so I started just withdrawing, and it was actually really healthy for me because living online is not healthy. It's not really it doesn't make you happy. The more I'm on Facebook, the more unhappy I am, and the more I can be like, this is a tool. This is a community that you feel safe. The smaller the community, the better, right? And so I love my Discord. I love my Twitch. I feel like when I meet somebody from those smaller communities, I know a friend, right? I know their name, I know their sense of humor, and I interact with them in a way that's much more authentic because they know me as a person versus like as 4 steps removed as a person. And I think that's the sadness of celebrity culture, right? We don't look at J-Lo and be like, whoa, I bet she's constipated today. She was traveling a lot. Like, right? She's got her issues. Everybody does. Or these TikTok people who look so beautiful, and I'm like, girl, nothing on her body is real, you know? She has spends $5,000 a month, you know, on this fake, and she has a filter on. And then you're saying that your nose is weird because you're comparing yourself with that? It's really destructive. So, I mean, I love the online world, but I think at a certain point, you know, when you become not a real person, that's, and I do it the same thing. I don't think of, you know, I was criticizing Kylie Minogue and her weird eyeshadow on the Turkey Day parade. But then I'm like, well, I don't know her. She probably was feeling insecure too, and she's probably nervous. And I'm like, who am I? But that's just what it is. That's human nature, right? And so the more we can bring ourselves down to a human level with the people we admire, the artists we support, but also just the things we consume, the more I think we approach things in a more giving and kind way. And I think that's healthier for us and the world. So I didn't mean, was that long? That was long.
That was perfect. Thank you.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very good. We have about 5 more minutes, so I think we can get through the 3 of you.
We can do it.
We can do this right here. You can still ask another one.
It's okay. We're not going to kick you in the head. Unless you want it. I'm kidding. I won't do that. You can do it. Yes?
Hi. I love all of the roles I've seen you in are wonderful. I was just wondering if you had any stories or fond memories from Dr. Horrible Sing-Along blog and what it was like working on that.
I was so intimidated on that set because Neil and Nathan are the most charismatic people in the world. They just walk in, like Neil especially, like I remember he walks like a panther. Like he should be on a runway all the time. And Nathan's so handsome and just so kind and giving, and they were both very, very kind to me, but I was, quite frankly, scared a lot. Penny is a scared character, so it's fine, but looking back, I wish I had had a little more confidence, but you know, that's just who I was at the time. And I will say that living in my own skin has been the journey that's I'm most proud of, being able to just be like, oh, this is who I am and I'm okay showing it. That's literally been my whole life's journey, and I feel, now that I'm in my 40s, I don't give a anymore, and I'm like, this is where I'm happy, so yeah, and doing that show, it was so low budget, and it was inspired by what I did on the Guild. And so we were just all hanging around, making a show together, and like, Hollywood is great, it's nice to have comfortable trailers and all this, you know, all the resources, be paid a lot of money, but it's also just fun to make stuff with your friends, and I think that's the core of why we get into Hollywood, but the business of it kind of takes that away, but you have to have it alive to make something great. And so, you know, whenever you monetize your art, you have that. You know, the business starts to take over, but if you lose the spark of why you started doing that art in the first place, it's not gonna be good and it's not gonna succeed. So it's a constant struggle. There's no like answer. It's just figuring out who you are and having weight to that. That's the thing that will keep you, you know, making stuff that's worth anything to you. And that's the most important thing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Back over here.
We could do it. We could do it. Two.
So basically it's another Dr. Horrible question. What was your favorite scene to do as Penny?
Oh, thank you. I love the laundry scene. Did you, and I will tell you that the laundry scene where we had to close all the dryer doors, there was one extra, I will not point him out, but he could not do it right. This guy could not close the dryer on time, and he kept telling Joss why Joss was doing it wrong. But then, in the parking lot, he taught us the Superman dance outside. So it was actually okay. It was really fun. And the fact that you came up and expressed your love of Dr. Horrible really made my day, so I want to tell you that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love all the Dr. Horrible love today.
It is really wonderful. I think it's because Wicked is on the mind of people, and like whenever you see a resurgence of that, it's really special. So yeah, I love it. Last question, but also the first questioner. You're bringing it home.
My favorite role of yours is Poppy in The Magician.
Oh, thank you.
And so I was wondering your experience doing that role, if you had a scene that you particularly liked.
Oh my God, I love the sets on that. You know, like I just love working with Quentin and the sets. Unfortunately, he quit the show, so they didn't bring me back for the last season because it would have been awkward. But I was doing the first episode, it was my first job back after having a baby, and my breasts are enormous. So if you watch the show, just know there's like a bunch of milk in those tatties. I am stacked, y'all. And I'll never look like that again. So that's why I'm really glad we got that on film. Also, the acting and the writing was great. Okay, thanks a lot.
That was fantastic. Let's put our hands together one more time for Felicia.
Thank you for the moderator. I'm sorry I harassed you.